And a Peoria man will stay in jail as he's facing multiple drug charges. It's 43-year-old Edward Jackson, and he was in court today after he's accused of selling large quantities of drugs that were found at his home Thursday. It was around 10:30 in the morning. A search warrant led police to nearly a pound of heroin and half a pound of meth. A stolen handgun and equipment to sell drugs was also found. He's ordered detained ahead of his trial. He was also booked on 30 counts of animal neglect.